trouble.
Listen, I thought Tennessee believed in law and order.
Yeah, you better keep going down the street, white man. Cause see, when the truth come out, then you gonna run. Just like when Christ cracked that sky, you gonna run in. You gonna be running from a lion, then running from a bear. You gonna run into a house, put your hand on the wall, and get bit by a serpent. That's right.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's something that should be scary to white America. There's a judge in heaven, and that judge in heaven is about to take you to court. And you can't throw him in jail like a nigga, right? Because he's a nigga that nobody can stop.
White man said to the Indian when he came over here, he said, we love you too. And you know what he did? He gave him chicken soup. But Lincoln took his way in and killed all the buffaloes. And over 500 peace treaties. Is that love? Is that love? Is that love?
Talking about what's the move after we started breathing.
Rising American white men, people,
right?
And as they got more and more money, they
right.
moved on, and that's what they would have helped the white people advance with housing.
Right.
And then as they started moving on, they started taking minorities, blacks, poor, and started letting them live there.
So let me ask you something. Do you know about Seneca Village?
I'm not from here.
No, I ain't talking about. This happened in New York. Where you from?
Rhode Island.
Okay, so this happened in New York. Seneca Village, which is what they call it now, the big park in New York. Central Park. It used to be Seneca Village. It used to be for black people, right? Then what they did was the Irish came. The Irish came and they integrated the black people, integrated them with the black people. So then they made the Irish police, firemen, but they didn't just move on to other better situations. What they did was become policemen and firemen, and they terrorized Seneca Village, where the black people were. So it wasn't enough. Here's where you're wrong at. It wasn't enough that white people made room for more poor white people. The fact is, when the poor white people moved on and the black people came...
No, it wasn't made for poor white people.
It was made for poor white people.
Projects...
It was for the lower class.
No, they were moving up, and they wanted to...
Okay, if they were moving up, where did they come from?
Well, they were just starting out in life, so they built these projects.
But if they are moving up, where are they coming from? In order to go up, it means you're where?
Well, they were just starting out in life.
But it wasn't... You got to understand something. It wasn't like your teenage son that just turned 18 and he trying to figure things out, so then he moves to a project. That ain't what it was.
Well, that's what...
No, I'm telling you where you're wrong at.
Well, I'm not sure which one it was. It was one, I saw a documentary on a project, I think it was in Tennessee.
Well, that's why I'm trying to tell you what happened in Seneca Village, so you can understand what white supremacy really did. They moved in the Irish. And when they moved the Irish in and made them police and firemen, what they did was terrorize the black people in Seneca Village. But then that wasn't enough, because the black people started to survive anyway. So then they got rid of Seneca Village and created a whole park in the middle of their neighborhood. And to this day, it's called Central Park. Now what the brother just said about Joe Casey, that lower income, what happened there is when white people didn't need to help the other lower class white people anymore, then the black people came in, it wasn't enough. They wanted to oppress them more. So do you know what Reagan did in the 80s?
I know exactly.
What did he do?
He did supply side economics, the trickle down effect, which is bullshit.
But what was the scheme that he did, including his wife, Nancy Reagan? Have you ever heard of the DARE program?
What?
DARE. Drugs Against... Yeah, D-A-R-E. It was an acronym.
Yeah, you see the cops riding around with DARE on.
Right. So Nancy Reagan came up with that. Then Ronald Reagan was supposed to back that up. He had a deal with Oliver North, that was in the Army, with the Contra affair. Do you remember that? So then the Contra affair created a drug way to come over to America and get rid of drugs so they could pay for the weapons to go against the guerrillas in South America.
They brought the drugs in and gave them to the poor people.
They gave them to the who?
The poor people.
To the poor people, right? Now we just said the poor white people moved on. So who's... Most of them.
There's still white trash.
It's trickles of them. So who was left as the poor? No. As a majority, who was left as the poor?
Minority.
Which are
You, me.
blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So you got to realize something. It wasn't enough. They couldn't get rid of the drugs that was coming in those poor neighborhoods to give the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians a chance. They could have done the same thing they would have done if it was white people by getting them up on their feet and then they move on. No, hold on a second. What they did was they allowed those drugs to come in. They made money off of the poor blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that were left in there, and they made the money off of them and destroyed their families.
No, it's always been that.
So then here's my question. What was the lower income projects really made for?
It wasn't for poor people.
What was it made for?
It was to help white middle class people's children.
They already
get a
happened.
foothold.
That happened and they moved on, so why did they keep the projects going?
It's a prison for minorities. It's a prison for you, for me, for...
Okay, what are you, man? Are you a white man?
My mother's from Puerto Rico.
What's your father?
White.
Your father's white. Okay, so you're a white man. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I'm a white man with Hispanic heritage.
Hey, you know what? I can respect that. Hey, give him a hand. He told the truth. Usually, we go to war with people about that. But the reason why we say that, just so you understand, the seed comes from the father. So whatever the child is the father. So you understand that. But the main thing I wanted to get you to understand what the brother was saying is that regardless, the low income was made for white people. Lower income white people, the projects. But they could have got rid of it. They kept it as a trap for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to make money off of and to destroy their family. I got one more question for, what's your name, man? Mike, I got one more question for you, Mike. I respect that. It's a question I got. Why was there a division amongst white people to have rich and poor? You don't know the answer to that?
I would say,
Okay.
personally, I would say, because that's what this thing we call Earth is about.
It's about classes and race. I agree with that.
Hey, Karl Marx said the history of past societies is the history of class struggle.
Now let me give you a little history because you might not have known this. And this is nothing to battle you. This is just a dialogue.
No, I'm all about dialogue.
So here's what you didn't know. What's the big thing that happened during Abraham Lincoln's term? Yep, the Civil War. So the Civil War was what?
Well, one of them was.
The main thing was what? Brother against brother. So America was in a war with itself. So they didn't want that to happen again. Civil War is one of the worst things to especially a white American that ever can happen. Because it stops everything. It's like a drug war on the street. When there's a drug war on the street, nobody's making money because everybody at war. So it's the same thing in America. Now, here's what white supremacy figured out. How do we keep this from happening again? Because we still got to have the rich, and they're still going to be poor. So what they did was they came up with a working class. They came up with a lower class.
Working class poor.
Now, where you have your police officers, your police department, your fire department, even people that work in the city, that's where those jobs came from. It's to keep them docile and keep them voting for Trump while we stay rich and make money off all the niggas, all the wetbacks, all the savages, and the lower class white people.
And the people that voted for Trump are the people Trump wouldn't even hang out with.
But here's the thing. Why do they still vote for Trump?
Because the thing about a con is the con man always makes you think you're part of the con.
I agree with that.
And that's what it is. They think that he's for them. He doesn't.
Let me.
Ain't bought a gallon of milk in his whole life.
And what's your name again?
Mike.
Mike, I'm gonna ask you one more question, Mike, because this is good. I like this. So, Mike, I got another question I've been dying to ask somebody. Okay, they are on the brink of World War III, like all the way with America, Israel, and Iran specifically.
Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP care nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent.